I did consider other law schools. I prayed about it a lot, where the Lord wanted me to go after Covenant, and it seemed financially that UF was a wise choice. It's a great school, and I would be closer to my family, and I thought eventually I'd probably end up in Florida, and I'd been told by many people the Gator Nation is a great school to go to if you want to and to actually be in the state. So that was a big consideration of location, and I'm very thankful that I ended up going to UF. I'd say the most challenging part of UF was it was the most intense academic environment I had been in, law school. I knew going in that it was going to be that way. I don't think I quite comprehended how much more consuming it was going to be than an undergrad program. And I really wanted to do my best there. I strived to do well. I thought that's where I was supposed to be, and I wanted to really commit myself to what I was doing. So I gave it 100% for 3 years, and it took 100% of studying long days. I learned how to work longer and harder, and I think coupled with the starting over again, you move out of a community that you know everyone and you're comfortable to a new environment. And so the first year was difficult, just readjusting, I think, like every student goes through when they leave college or they go to college for the first time. And but at the end, I had a good group of friends, and I had made some really wonderful relationships with professors there, and it was a great 3 years. It just a challenging 3 years of academics. Well, when I went, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to graduate at the top of my class. I went thinking, I have no idea where I'm going to stack up, because I'm coming from a small school, and most of the students at UF, or a large majority, went to UF. So I was just unsure the first semester. So I gave everything I could to studying hard and learning what I could, and praying about leaving the results up to how the Lord saw fit. And then they do tell you after your first year where you ranked after your first year grade. So then I was shocked and amazed that that's kind of where it stood at that point. So I do think after I knew, then I was like, well, I need to continue this commitment to striving for excellence with school. And I would have anyways. I wanted to. I love school. I always have, and I've always aspired to do my best. I believe that we're supposed to. So I didn't come in with that expectation, but I think once I realized it, I was committed to trying. Academically, definitely. I don't feel like Lakeland Christian and my Covenant College, I don't think I at all missed out. If anything, I feel like I came very grounded with what I believed and why I was there. I knew I wanted to be at law school. I didn't go just because I didn't have something to do. And academically, as I mentioned before, both of those schools have taught me how to think and to analyze, not just regurgitate information. And I think that's critical for law school, is knowing how to do those and then articulate it clearly. And so I think those are the most valuable skills coming in. I definitely feel like I was prepared to do that. And of course you had to learn all the legal terminology and that structure. That's different. And I feel like I had a good grasp on how to handle stress because of those opportunities in college to get to do so much with student government and have the different academic programs I was involved with. I think I learned how to do law review and school and not let it overwhelm me. So I definitely feel prepared in that way. Well, your first year, there's a rule you can't work outside of doing classes, but then in the summers, they very much encourage you to do an internship or work for a law firm. So I did, I worked for the U.S. Attorney's Office as an extern my first summer, and I loved that. That was a great experience. Got to see a lot of trials and courtroom activity. And then my second summer, I worked for a law firm down in Miami, and I loved that as well. It was a great exposure and very vastly different experiences with the private civil world and then the public criminal. Well, I did get the opportunity in law school to be on law review, and part of that is you have to write an article. We call it notes if a student writes it. And I was fortunate enough to have mine published. And that was on criminal sentencing guidelines in federal court for child pornography offenders. So that was, it really, with writing, I think it's whether you really care about the issue that you're writing, because it's going to take a lot of time and investment and a lot of hours of research and editing. And for me, it just, that an issue came up, and it really struck me as something I believed in. And I think if I were to write something again in the future, it would need to be like that as well, something I really care about. Most law school curriculum, your first year, you get a wide spectrum of the basics, like constitutional law, property, criminal law, contracts, that sort of thing. And then after that, your second and third year are very, you have a lot of freedom to choose which classes you want to take. So, and you don't choose a specialty, you don't have to. You can specialize. I ended up taking a lot of criminal law classes because I really wanted to participate in this clinic at the state attorney's office where you get to try cases. So I did take a lot of those, but you don't have to pick a specialty. But transactional law is not my fit, I don't think. That's where you don't do litigation, you don't go to court. It's more like you write contracts for companies and help them do deals or stock exchange, that kind of thing. I personally want to do litigation, and that interests me more.